What is up everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Miles Rowe and in today's video we'll be having a look at Citadelle Des Morts, the new map in Black Ops 6 Zombies. A map that has been amazing and it's one of those maps that does really take some time in order to crack. But in today's video, I appreciate it's a long one, but I have made the guide for you guys on how to defeat the final boss solo. And with that being said, we have to do some Easter eggs in order to do that. One of them, as you guys can see, you have to become a bartender and serve some really lovely drinks for our fellow zombies, as well as learning a bit more about a side Easter egg for one of the operators, as well as having a really good guided support in the final boss battle from a chess piece. So with that being said, let's just jump in today's video because I appreciate it's a long one. So with the relevant timestamps, I hope you guys will enjoy navigating this. So the first thing to prepare, guys, it's our weapon. One of the things that you'll find quite useful, at least until about round 10 or 11, is that by having a really good assault rifle really helps. So one of the things that I have found is that the Krieg C, it's a really good weapon. You have a really good magazine size, it has really good damage, as well as being quite mobile to use. The next thing that we want to do is to make sure you have the Ether Shroud field upgrade. This is going to help you get out of those sticky situations, and the most important thing is to have Maya as an operator. This is going to make sense throughout the game, and you'll see when we're going to do the dedicated operator Easter egg. Right, so the first thing that we're going to want to do, guys, is to turn on the rampage mode. This is going to help us get more essence faster, and in the same time it's just going to help you kind of stay alive in a bit more of a hostile environment. This is very similar to the higher rounds, so it's going to be a good training ground just to kind of make sure you get used when things are getting a bit more messier. Also, probably another thing that it's worth mentioning, because we're gonna stay here up to round 9, you're gonna want to have enough essence to just be able to power through all the other parts of the map.
I am monitoring communications and will provide any help I can.
What the hell, Ravenov? Spit out his drink whenever he hears Sam's voice. Think we figured out how to get him off the sauce.
I'm starting to wish I'd met this Max's chick. Cool, so this artifact is legit. Maybe I'll get to.
One of the Avalonian crime families. French syndicate traced their roots to this castle. Franco thinks himself the king of these walls. Today, his reign ends.
Gonna take this place clean. What's theirs is mine now.
Bonus points.
Starting to think you underestimated how much these nerds hate you. I think Carver'd rather gargle a dog turd than have you along.
Tear them to pieces.
Pretty sure I have one of those living in my first apartment. You know, I shouldn't charge the rent. Ooh, big scary leggy boy. You'd be no match for my mum's slipper.
Max ammo.
It pissed you off that I'm getting along with this lot better than you ever will?
Me? Pissed that you're popular with those mental titans? So easy. I just need to know you'll still have my back if they get, you know, aggressive.
You see that, Peck? How about you get off your ass and give it a go?
Max armor.
of sussing everyone out. For now, all I care about is getting my hands on Franco.
I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you. Right up until the point you make his throat smile.
Double points.
You're not like the others. You're not military. What? Criminal? Smuggler?
I prefer independent businesswoman, but you're not wrong.
Bonus points.
How you look on your face when you heard about the place? You have unfinished business with him.
Well, he abducted my brother and
Okay, so the rampage mode is off. The most important thing now before leaving this area is to buy dead wire ammo mode on your sword rifle, because this is gonna be the part that we want to pay most attention to. Just gonna make sure we're gonna do this in this order, just not to have to worry about it at a later stage. So the thing that you want to aim is this power box here, and this is gonna drop a rod, so you're gonna get the rod and that's gonna stay in your inventory for later. Now we're gonna power through the rest of the map, and we're gonna want to take the left side of the tower. Now this is another Easter egg that you guys want to keep an eye on, and that's the chest piece board, and this is one of the areas that you're gonna find one of the items that we're after. It can only spawn in 3 areas, so this is one of them. There's 2 more, one of them including the area that we have started the game from, but we're gonna check that a bit later on. Right, so turning on the cannon, we're gonna go straight in, and one of the things that probably you want to do as well, because we've got enough essence, is to turn back, get the other rod as well as the horseshoe, because this is something that we're gonna need later on to be part of the sword upgrade.
Spiky, what the hell's it doing here?
Right, so now we've got most of the items of interest that we need, so now we can continue entering the castle and do the rest. Now when entering the castle, there's another area that we're gonna want to immediately look at, and this is part of another Easter egg that we're gonna want to do, and this is the Easter egg that requires you to be a bartender and to be able to get a free PhD flopper. So the first area that you want to check, it's here where the knight's area is, and underneath this table just collect this bottle. Now we're gonna go back up, and on this hallway you will be able to check for the second chess piece. It's not here, so that only means the chess piece has spawned in the area under the bar. Now while we are here, we're gonna also collect the book page that is missing, so we're gonna do that quite quickly. Okay, 2 more. Again, try to do this at your own pace. I preferred having a big horde, so it allows us to keep this round for longer. Okay, there was one more, and there should be another one just here. There we go, excellent. Right, so we've got all 4 pages, so now we can carry on. We're gonna open this door. Got the 4th one as well.
Lured us here just to tidy up his shitty castle.
I'm gonna want to also collect the second bottle, which is there. Also other chess pieces. We can also break this wall because we have the melee macchiato. If not, you guys might want to do this at a later stage. And now we're gonna crack on opening the Pack-a-Punch machine.
Not so sharp now, are you, hey?
even if you'd have had not had the Sally pistols, in this round you'd have got an insta kill, and this is gonna help you kind of killing this boss quicker, so just bear that in mind. We're gonna start the dialogue here, and we're just gonna carry on with the rest of the things.
Who you are and why you are here. To obtain
The Sentinel artifact. You will first need an amulet.
Right, now we're gonna go into the new secret room, and we're gonna have to collect our artifact, which is gonna be part of one of the sword upgrades later. So just get this now while the area is a little bit more manageable, and also start doing this other part of the items that need upgrading. So this is the light upgrade, so you're just gonna want to stay where the faded line is, and by shooting towards the gem, this is gonna correct its trajectory.
The PowerPoint.
So again, we're gonna do the trajectory and then in the secret room as well. Just gonna move away from the zombies a bit.
Eurus Altilium is the name of the amulet you seek. Your former employer, Edward Richtofen, paid you
For an insta kill, but we won't really use it, so
Just point me in the
just
right
gonna
direction.
take it for the
I'll
sake of
handle
it.
redistributing the wealth.
And there we have it. We've done this. You're gonna have to interact first with it. It takes a while, so just bear that in mind, because if you do have loads of zombies behind you, you might get, you know, a bit messy there. So just interact with it and then go and collect it later. Okay, so we're gonna go and get it now,
Man, what a
and
fucking
we
love
might as well have a look at the double points here,
double points.
because now we're gonna want to upgrade this item and make the chest available for us. So this is a part of the swording update that maybe many of you guys were thinking that you have to do once you have the swords. No, you actually can do it beforehand, and this is probably one of the things I recommend. Do it well before, because in this way you won't have a higher round, and you can actually get this off the way quite quickly as well. Okay, so at round 10, I would recommend staying in this room, simply because it's gonna allow you to see the spawned knight, which is gonna drop one of the stamps, as well as afterwards we'll be able to grab one of these swords for the ox, which eventually is also gonna allow you to kill one of the spawn zombies that is gonna drop another rod that we need. So this is pretty much where I would say you're gonna have to be a bit more cautious with how you kill zombies, because this is where you want to keep a few for the end of the round, and this is where the crowd control it really kicks into play. So you're just gonna want to move around the room, maybe kill a few zombies, and then you'll see the knight being spawned, which will drop the stamp. Okay, so there it is. We got the stamp.
Max armor.
We're gonna now want to go upstairs and get the ox/horse sword, and by doing that we're gonna want to go back downstairs, so just be mindful of the zombies that are coming after you. And now we're gonna have to wait for a spawn of a armored zombie. You will be able to notice that walks a bit slower than the other zombies, and once you killed him, it's gonna drop the other rod that we need. So once you kind of cleared out most of the room, you'd either see it spawning separately or within the crowd. So just be mindful, as I said earlier, not to kill all of them, and to just leave a few zombies behind you as well. Okay, so there we go. I think that's the guy.
Stupid games.
we got
We're
the
stupid
road, so now
pirates.
we're gonna go upstairs, which is on the left wing of the tower, and upgrade our sword. Now this is the lightning sword, and I think a few people had issues with how to do this, including myself. So I hope I will clear this for you guys, because it has been a bit frustrating to get this part of the mission done, and if you do it at a later stage, you might find it harder to kind of avoid the zombies coming your way. So I would suggest do it for first, because this is gonna be the easiest way. And the most important thing right now, because you still have a few zombies behind you, try not to kill those, and only kill the zombies that are spawned with purple eyes. Now, once you've done that, you can just move around, avoiding the zombies you guys have left, and you'll see that your sword will get the lightning. Once it's lighted, you just go and melee the box, and by doing so 3 times, you will be able to then interact and leave your sword there. So just bear that in mind. It's not as difficult as people think. It did take me a while to find this sweet spot, let's say, but just making it available for you guys, because initially it was really frustrating, and I have actually happened to die a few times here, which was very annoying. Okay, so now we're gonna leave the sword here. Just gonna give it a few seconds, and then we should be able to collect it all upgraded. And there we have it. As it stands, the other knight hasn't spawned yet, so this is gonna have to be a case of ending the round. But because we are kind of within this stage where we can still do some of the other items, I would suggest just going downstairs, and try to take the tunnel that goes back to the spawn area, and in this way you can also do the Raven. Now the Raven is basically sat at the end of the tunnel, so you just have to make sure you shoot the bird just before exiting, and this is gonna start flying away. So once you've done that, you're gonna have to kill the bird, and the bird is gonna drop you an item. Now once you have that item, you can go back downstairs in the castle and upgrade that into another chest. So you can definitely get this done early on and not have to worry about the hordes of zombies. So in our case, because we still have to wait until this round gets ended to get the other knight for the sword, I prefer doing this now, and in this way we can get things done sooner. Also, while you're here, you're gonna want to do the small bottles in this order. You're gonna see that I was pausing the game just to be able to get a quick picture of this. I would recommend doing the same, because there's no particular way and there's no guide for this to be kind of available online. So just pause the game, take your phone, take a quick snippet, and you should be absolutely fine. But again, doing it now when we have a few zombies behind us, it's not that difficult. But if you have to do it in a later stage where there's a lot more zombies coming after you, it becomes a bit more annoying, and you won't be able to kind of focus on the right things. Right, so now because we have finished all the stuff that we had to do here, we're gonna unlock this area too. And probably we're gonna want to go back to the castle, do the code that we have just found the numbers for, and then carry on with the other things. Right, so going downstairs, you're going to see highlighted the Raven area. So we're going to place the item after we finish the code here. But in this section where we pack-a-punched earlier, we're going to have to insert the symbols in the way that they were in the pub. So if you guys have taken the pictures in the order that I have done the showing of the bottles, you should be absolutely fine, and this should be going quite quickly, especially if you just have a few zombies left behind you. This is quite key to make sure it's done correctly. So again, this is another reason to not advance too far beyond round 10 as yet, simply because you can still get a few things done which will help you later.
Yeah, let's get lit.
Okay, so now with that completed, we can start the Raven chest box, and you're just gonna have to place the Raven there and just carry on with all the zombies that come your way. Again, this is something that you don't need the actual sword to carry on with, so just bear that in mind. It's a nice way to do it early on in the game. Right, so with that completed and round 11 started, I would suggest fitting the pages missing, and while you're there as well, just make sure to pause the game again and take a picture of the order of the pages. Now we're gonna go back upstairs and try to find another knight zombie that comes so we can get another stamp. And in the meantime as well, we just have to think what we need to do next. So probably the next thing that is quite important on the list is to get the horseshoe upgraded. So by ordering to do that, we just need to go up to the cannon and shoot ourselves back into the spawn. So this is one of the things that you guys have to keep track of. As I said earlier, just pause the game, take a picture of this. I had to do it now because I haven't done it earlier. So took a picture, and we can also try to start doing this order of this challenge too. Okay, so with the area inside the castle looked at, none of the markings fit our pages, so we're just gonna carry on, go the other stamp, and do the next sword. I would recommend doing this, the Raven sword, because this is probably a bit more time consuming with all the energy balls coming your way. So just go back to the spawn area, and on the way we want to see another marking, which is in the village, and that marking might be the one that we're after. I would also recommend just trying to keep an eye on the markings, just to familiarize yourself with them, because some of them might be a bit confusing, and just not to have any issues when you think are the ones you need to do. Okay, so I think this is our first marking, which we're gonna just want to kill all the zombies inside of it. And one thing I've noticed, I'm not sure if this is a rule or not, and if you guys know, please do let me know in the comment section down below. But once you have successfully completed this, a random power-up is gonna come up, and that's just a way to know that you've done the right thing. Right, so we're back at the bar area, and this is where we're gonna want to do another Easter egg to give us the PhD flopper. And I've just noticed we are missing one of the bottles, so you can actually tally things up. And I think this is the bottle inside the bunk bedroom, so we're gonna go and pick up that later. In the meantime, I'm just gonna insert the sword here and put the code. So for the code, I have made for you guys a list of the ones that you'll find based on the fossils inside the study room. So just keep that in mind, take a print screen of it and use it as you guys find fit. In our case, I might have to abandon this because we have too many zombies behind us, and this is not gonna help us complete this successfully. So just to avoid any sort of issues, we're gonna come back to it in a bit.
Wow, greedy fella. I'm all for breaking rules, but it'd be nice to know what they are first.
Okay, so with round 12, we're gonna expect the new stamp coming our way. This is gonna be the next sword we're gonna look at, and in our case, we're gonna have to choose between the dragon and lion. So let's just go and find the missing bottle. We're also gonna see our book tally up and see if the markings from earlier fit our description or not. And also it'll be a good way to go back and pick up the missing bottle for the Easter egg. Yeah, so we just need a clear eye now, and I think this is one of the items or areas that we're gonna find inside the castle. So just bear that in mind. As I said, take the picture earlier, and it's gonna help you to kind of navigate the markings. Okay, there it is. So there was the bottle, and now we are going to be able to go back and complete this particular Easter egg with the bar for the PhD flopper. Okay, now we're gonna just wait for the night zombie to spawn. It might be sometimes that it might just come before the end of the round, so just keep an eye on this. Don't kill the last vermin yet, and just kind of go around and wait for it to spawn. You're probably gonna hear it on the map, or ping it on the map, sorry. As in our case, I was just going to one of the libraries, and then I just saw on the map a ping, which was a clear indication that the knight was coming. So went back, then we saw him, we took the stamp, and now we're gonna want to do the lion quest. Now, why I chosen to do this particular one is simply because you have those 4 vermins that are glowing, and those could be quite annoying at a later stage, especially when there are too many zombies coming your way. So just bear that in mind, because this is one of the things that I would suggest doing again quite early on. We're also going to upgrade our horseshoe now, and when you jump with the cannon, as soon as you land, you're going to see the lightning strike you, and then a form of a storm is going to create somewhere in the nearby vicinity. If you're on the vermin round, it might be difficult to see because of the green surroundings, but you're going to still be able to hear some lightings in the background, and this is what we're going to go for. Once you approach the storm area, some zombies will spawn. You just collect your item, and then you go back in the spawn area, and that's where you're gonna find to have the area that you're gonna have to place the item.
Spell you placed on my comrades. You have such power. Why did you not use it to escape?
Make room, you rotted sausages, I'm coming through.
Again, you can do this without the actual sword, so it's a nice quick way to get this done, and you're gonna have the golden lockbox available. Now bear in mind, once you upgraded your sword, you're still gonna have to come back and unlock the lock, because in this way you're gonna have access to the actual recipes. Now we have also the PhD flopper Easter egg bar challenge. So in order to do this successfully, you just have to correlate the drinks that are being requested. You're gonna see that by doing this at a bit of a later round, you're gonna get better tips, but it's not necessarily the a rule to it, because I have got the same sort of outcome in very early rounds too. So just bear that in mind. It's a really cool way to get a PhD flopper, given that the Wonder Feed machine only spawns at round 25 in the bar. So this is a way to get this earlier, because it's gonna help us go hand in hand with the next Easter egg that we're gonna do. Okay, so once this done, in our case now, we're gonna hang around this area and try to get this sword upgraded again, because this is probably the furthest away we're gonna have to go. So Just gonna have to clear out some of the zombies coming our way. Just gonna leave a few behind us, and then we're gonna come back and finish the upgrade.
That piece of shit out sure liked to make things hard, didn't he?
Okay, so I don't think we were meant to do this particular challenge there, so it's definitely not gonna count, but at least we've got the knight, so at least we can get the stam now and move on to unlock the latest sword. So right now what I had to focus on is to just get them unlocked, and then we're gonna continue in upgrading them too. So we're just gonna go to a tally now downstairs and make sure this is tallied up for the traps, which I'm sure it's not, but we're just gonna check again, and once more afterwards we're just gonna carry on with upgrading our swords. Now you're on level round 13, which is quite good because we can also do our Easter egg with Maya, and once we have done the Easter egg we can get a secret weapon, and by doing the secret weapon alongside the PhD flopper you have got yourself a really strong, powerful weapon. Okay, so we're gonna start the upgrade of the sword again. So I'm just gonna put the markings of the fossils on the screen once more, and hopefully once you guys have got the right order, you'll be a lot easier now to manage because we only have 1 or 2 zombies chasing us. Okay, so once the gates are being opened, one of the things that I would recommend doing the most is just to try to keep the distance as far as possible from those orbs, because it's just easier to steer them towards those dimensions. Now, if you happen to kind of go close to them, just use the slide button and you should be absolutely fine. But again, you just have to be a bit more calculated in the distance you keep, because if you're too close and you use the slide button, you're still gonna get some damage from the orb. So once you got 3 orbs, the main orb is gonna move again, and this is gonna open another dimension, while the other orbs are still chasing you. So this is where I really can't stress enough, having 1 or 2 zombies chasing you is gonna make the entire process easier. Okay, so with the final orb inside the dimension, this is going to close and he's going to go back to the sword, making it upgrading the rarity of it. So now we have remembered that we still have the chest piece that we need to find. So it's definitely going to be here, and in this video is just kind of looking around, not being entirely sure of its location, on which shelf it was, but eventually we have managed to find that the shelving opposite the sword, it's where the item was. So I've put on the screen also how it looked in case you guys want to have an idea. So this was the item. Also, for some reason, when I was doing the video, I couldn't see it. Only after I've edited the video, I could see the actual image of the chest piece. So this also didn't appear in my inventory. So I just could hear the collection sound, hence why I was looking in the inventory, but I couldn't necessarily see the actual item. So now with the sword being upgraded, we're just going to go back and try to upgrade the other swords too. The one sword that we're probably going to want to do before everything kind of ends in this round is the fire sword, because that's probably going to take a bit more preparation in terms of the distances and stuff. And also just a bit of an advice here: if you do this at an early rounds of an actual round, you might find difficult to navigate many hordes of zombies while you are on fire. You also take damage from the fire itself, and also if you do take damage from other zombies too, it's just gonna make this process harder. So I would recommend doing it again towards the end of a round when you only have a couple of zombies chasing you, because this is also gonna spawn more zombies. So the more kind of zombies you have on the map, the harder it's gonna get to navigate it.
Wish you warned me about splash zones, Pat? Would have packed a poncho.
Okay, so for the final location, this is on the actual spawn of the map. So we're just gonna have to use the cannon again because this is the quickest. We're gonna take the fire and then gonna carry on. I would suggest taking the left gate, the one that we've opened later, simply because this is the quickest way. And also alongside the way, kill the purple-eyed zombies. These are gonna regain some of your health, and by doing so, you're not gonna die on the process. It can be quite annoying when you're trying to do this and then you lose all your health and die just before placing the fire. So just bear that in mind. Use those purple-eyed zombies to get this done alongside the way.
At sea, fire's not your friend. But I'm not at sea.
Okay, so now with all the 3 swords done, we only have one left, and this is the lion sword. So in order to do the lion sword, we're just gonna have to kill the glowing vermins, and by doing so, you will be having a glowing sword which you can interact with on a door in the village. So as I said, with this one, ideally try to do it in an earlier round, just not to have too many zombies spawning, because they would also spawn inside this tiny room, which can get quite annoying. Also, it's quite difficult to aim and kill the vermin in air when you have loads of other zombies chasing you, so just bear that in mind. It can take a while, but just try to kind of train the zombies as much as you can, and you should be absolutely fine.
Figures. Mouthy shits like you never know when to quit. Are you related to Peck?
So this will be the last one, and then we're going to interact with the door, and this is going to take us in this tiny room. Now we're going to want to interact again with the table, and the symbols are always the same. So if you have done this a couple of times, you'll be able to make sure that you can get this right from the first time. Also, if you get these symbols shoot in the correct order quite quick, you won't have any issues with the zombies spawned. So just bear that in mind, because it's again a really cool trick of not having to deal with too many issues here.
Another dusty old bugger dropped. Sometimes I am the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Okay, so with the swords being down, now we have to focus on getting the final chest open. So in order to do that, we're gonna have to use fire elements, and for that I would recommend crafting 2 Molotov cocktails. That's why we've started the game with 1. The first area that you're gonna want to throw is here.
That'll keep the
Then
monsters
the
away.
second area is on the opposite side of the tower, which is just above the entrance, which is just there. And finally, we're gonna also want to charge the middle side of the castle, which is also gonna generate a bit more action. While we were here, I could also do our challenge there, and as you guys saw, as mentioned earlier, as soon as you have successfully done the challenge, it's gonna give you a power up, which is again quite cool because you know that you have done the right thing. In my case, while recording the video, I realized afterwards that I was using the wrong sword, so we have to go and change for the dragon sword.
See ya. Franco, is that you? It is Chloe. Let me in. I am in the shit. I'm in the merd. Jigs up, you gullible shit. Stop looking at me like I'm bloody lunch. I ain't your fucking Sango.
Okay, so we still need to charge our sword, so probably the best way to do it is just to set up the trap here, because this is going to give us a lot of zombies. So let's just start doing it, and by the end of it we should have enough charge in order to throw the final attack on the main bit of the castle. Okay, so in order to do that, we just have to go where the cannon is, and then hold both triggers on the sword, and this is going to generate this strong power-up attack. Cool, so with this area being done, you're gonna see some zombies being spawned, and after about 6 or 7 of them, you'd have a boss zombie as well that you're gonna want to defeat, and he's gonna be the one that is gonna drop the item that needs upgrading. So just bear that in mind, because you can get quite close. Sometimes it is randomly spawned quite far away, but in my game here he was literally spawned next to us. So in order to upgrade this item, we're just gonna want to put it here, And again, without necessarily having the sword, we can get this done quite quickly.
Can't stop now. Just got my sea legs.
Okay, so at this stage we have 2 Easter eggs left for what we need to accomplish. One of them is Maya's side story Easter egg, which we're gonna go and complete now. So in order to do that, we just prepare ourselves and got the 3 plates armor vest, and we're just gonna go interact with that radio which we did earlier, and now enter this room. Now we're gonna see a lot of vermin being spawned here, so just make sure to take your time, stay at the back and just clear them out before you proceed. And this is probably the strategy that I highly recommend using. Right, once all the vermins are being cleared, you're gonna approach this room and you're gonna see another boss being spawned. It's quite quick to get rid of, and then there's another one at the back which does take a bit of time to get some damage done to it. But once killed, there's another set of vermins coming your way, so just make sure to keep an eye on those. And the second boss is gonna drop a key, which is gonna allow you to open this gate where you're gonna have a cutscene.
Chloe?
Wrong.
Okay. Okay. The door should keep her out.
Why won't you just fucking die? Wait! Killing me won't bring your brother back. You know he wouldn't want this.
This isn't for Nathan. This is for me.
So now with Maya's revenge being done and off our Easter egg list, you're gonna see that the kind of side Easter egg had dropped GS45 pistol, which you guys can take, pack a punch and become a small hand cannon. Now it's worth mentioning, an akimbo is just a single pistol, but it's legendary and you guys can definitely use in fighting the final boss. Just gonna go now and tally up our pages, see where we are with this, and then we're gonna carry on with the rest.
Congratulations. You just made Maya's top 10 grossest profit. Listen, fuckers. Efficiency's key when running a business. This is me being efficient.
Insta-kill.
I'm all for all hands on deck when it comes to teamwork. But damn. That piece of shit out sure liked to make things hard, didn't he? As we say in the biz, got plenty more where that came from.
Double points.
Exfil is off the menu. Honor receipt. No.
Okay, and this should be the final area that we want to do. And once we have this, we have completed all the pages on our mission Easter egg. Perfect. Now you're gonna hear a dialogue and you're gonna see that red kind of thing going up, and this is when you know you have finished this part of the map. Now, one thing that you're gonna know from here onwards is that on the secret chamber, you're gonna see 4 orders of how to get some things done on the next side of the main Easter egg. So just make sure again to take your phone and take a picture of this, because it's just gonna help you get these things done.
We're locked out. What's the plan?
Okay, so in order, we have to do our Raven first. And in order to do that, all you have to do is to get your incantation, use the incantation, and then do the weapon inspect. Now, one thing that everyone is kind of trying to do is to stay in front of the knight and do it. As long as the incantation is aimed at the knight, you can do the weapon inspect while dodging some zombies. So just bear that in mind, because this is one of the things that people genuinely miss. And you don't have to necessarily have to wait in front of the actual knight statue for this to approve your inspection, and you can do it while you're kind of moving around. Okay, so now with all the boxes opened, now we should have all the incantation in the same room, and this is gonna help us to get on with our final bit of the Easter egg. So as mentioned, we have a few zombies following us, so what we're gonna want to do is to take a bit of distance from them, use the incantation on the actual statue, and then be able to inspect the weapon. And as I said, by doing that, it should be sufficient enough for the mission to complete and for the actual statue to accept our offering. So the next one on our list, I believe, it was the lion. So just gonna go and have another look at this. No, so it was a dragon. We're gonna get the incantation from here, and again do the same thing. We're gonna use the incantation on the statue, and while moving we're gonna do the weapon inspect. So as I said, this is definitely something that it should help you guys not to have to worry too much about staying still while doing this, because it's one of those things that does take some time, and if you do this at a higher round, you might find that there's still a few zombies chasing you. Okay, so once this done, we have our first orb. We're gonna take the first orb, and in my opinion, what I like doing is to do this one first, because this is the kind of easiest one, and it's just gonna ease you towards getting this done. So for the first orb, especially the one in the knight's room, you just have to chase this green energy mine, and by doing that, it's just gonna send more energy towards your orb. So just keep an eye on where it spawns after you've chased it, and just do it a couple of times, and this should be enough for this orb to charge up.
Christopher has been a dark and desolate place for so long. I fear he will never return to the light.
Then for the second orb, it will be in front of the castle, so for that we need to use fire elements. So I was just taking the fire sword as well as some Molotov cocktails, because this is just gonna speed up the process. Bear in mind, once you have the sword charged up, this is gonna be enough power to be able to complete the orb. Okay, so we're gonna place the orb here, and again, you're not necessarily bounded by too much of a of a restricted area, but still just try to stay within the courtyard of the castle, because this will be enough for the orb to being charged up.
Thanks to my ex, I'm no stranger to burning sensations.
Brief. This is comprehensive.
Okay, for the next one, we're gonna want to do the Raven sword next, simply because it's vermin round. It's probably wise to get this done now. Also, because we're getting there into the higher rounds, it's just gonna be a bit more difficult to manage that small tight area. So I would suggest going and do this third, simply because once done, you'll then be able to complete the final part of the Easter egg quite quickly.
Huh. Guess my dealer was right. I used to try the weird shit.
Okay, so once the orb placed here, I would suggest using the charged up sword as much as you can, as well as the incantation, because you're gonna have to get kills while in that black hole. Equally, if you do have the Casimir, this should help too, because it's kind of equally the same power up. So just bear that in mind, because it's one of those handy tricks or tips that you might want to have on your case.
You like that? I know I sure as fuck did. Going for a little sneak. Fuck. This is shit my pants level darkness.
Okay, so once this is done, we are able now to go and do the final one, which in our case is going to be the lightning one. So we're just gonna have to change our sword, and then once this is done, we'll be able to go into the main spawn courtyard and get it all sorted.
What's French for you fucked? Bloody hell. Clean up on aisle 7. Smells like Uncle Barto's basement. That's where he did most of his paint hopping. Sick. Look who's keeping up with you, geezers.
Insta-kill.
Okay, so with the sword being picked up, we can also want to take the incantation, but we have one at the exit of the castle. So just bear that in mind, don't necessarily stress that you can't find it. There's a few areas on the map that you'll be able to find them. So naturally, just by kind of going around the map, you'll be seeing these incantations being available. Okay, so we're gonna want to go back to the spawn area, and on the spawn area, this is where we're gonna fit our final orb. Okay, so for this, we're gonna want to get lightning kills. So for this, for example, dead wire detonator works really well. So if you have the dead wire ammo mode on your assault rifle, this should be absolutely fine. So we're gonna play with a mixture of both. We're gonna use the sword as well as the assault rifle. So you know, if you do have the primary weapon equipped with the dead wire ammo mode, you should be absolutely fine. Equally, if you do have the charged attack on the sword, this is gonna help because you're gonna be able to deal with the entire damage a lot faster.
Max armor.
I've made this look easy. Now, let's go find your mates. Okay. I found that a bit too satisfying. I think some just went in my mouth.
Do not give up. You're all worthy of second chance.
I swear the fucking door's arched on that one.
Max ammo.
Congratulations. You just made Maya's top 10 grossest experiences ever. Looks like I'm supposed to get with splattering your slop all over my good boots.
Okay, so with the orb now being fully charged up, we're gonna want to go and place it where we had the 4 symbols. Now by placing it on the 4 symbols, it's gonna unlock the secret room, and this is gonna give us the final item that we need in order to go and fight the boss. Now this is an area where I would recommend you spending a bit more time and getting kind of familiar with the stuff that you want to do. In our case, we're going to use the Idle Eyes sort of exploit right now, which once used, you're not going to get any sort of damage from the actual boss. So for the time being, I'm sure this is going to get patched, but I would recommend by using this strategy now to use your chess piece. So when you place the chess piece, now this is the area that you want to focus on getting the most kills. And once you have the chess piece, this is going to follow you around and act as a guard throughout the entirety of 6 or 7 rounds. So this is why I think it's quite important to do it at the end, because otherwise you might risk not to be sufficient enough for when you actually need it at the boss fight. So in our case, we're gonna do it now. We're gonna have 1 round to spare, and then the rest is gonna be within the boss fight, which is gonna be quite valuable because it's gonna act as a guard. Okay, so we're gonna place the orb, and then we're gonna want to also go and pack a punch our pistol. Equally, if you do have some other weapons that you want to pack a punch, this is the perfect time. I also wanted to try the power drill kind of overpowered situation right now, but it just didn't have enough essence, and I wanted to keep this kind of run as concise as possible, so I just focused on getting the Sallies fully upgraded, and then afterwards kind of focus on the stuff that we needed. So in terms of the actual stuff here with the power drill, it turns out that the power drill does extremely well against this boss. So if you do end up playing with it, just have to pack a punch it to level 3, put some rarity on it, and it's just gonna deal with loads and loads of damage. So just bear that in mind. If you want to try it, give it a go. I'm sure this is also gonna get patched, so probably something for the time being that you want to take advantage of. But equally, the stuff that we have done so far, the Easter eggs, these are the most beneficial things, and again, having the guard going there as a solo player is quite valuable, and I think it's the thing that you're probably going to want to focus on the most. It's not going to revive you in any way, but it's just going to be there when those hordes of zombies are coming your way while you're kind of busy fighting the main boss.
I have paused Graf's comms. He cannot know what I am about to tell you. The way he speaks of Director Richtofen struck me as strange. On, let's just call it a hunch, I accessed Project Genesis' encrypted message logs. There have been multiple exchanges between Croft and the Director. While I cannot access the contents of their communiques, it is clear that Croft is not being entirely honest. I would advise you proceed with caution.
Right, so for the final bit, we're gonna want to insert the artifact we found in this slot here in front of the statue, and then we're gonna have to wait a couple of seconds until the statue actually is gonna make a move, and afterwards we're gonna be transferred into the final boss fight arena. Now, I was also trying to do the fireplace Easter egg, which it's a cool one-off sort of situation where you have a energy ball kind of going around the map. It didn't necessarily work. I was just curious to see if this is going to be transferred also into the boss fight. So, in terms of the idle eyes kind of expert right now, you're going to want to use that as soon as the hammer hits the ground, and just before you get teleported. You're gonna see the animation of the bubblegum being chewed, and then once you're inside there, you're gonna see that the boss won't be able to deal you any damage.
Now the question you must answer is as simple as it is profound. Which is my greatest creation? The guardian of the amulet? Or you?
We're not throwing tech in there. Bang, motherfucker. Hey, anyone got banana ketchup for these chips? Ah! It's official, I'm in hell. Sick. Look who's keeping up with you geezers. There's one pissed off statue.
Only total destruction will vanquish the golem.
busting heads for fun and profit. And business is booming. Molotov lit. I prefer slow roasted, but this works too. Where'd your head go? places.
You still stand. You have exceeded my expectations, but your stamina has limits. The Guardian cannot die. In all likelihood, you will fall short. As you always have.
Fuck! Better get this fight over quick. Anyone packing marshmallows? Oh, too soon? I'll make this look easy. But it's not. It's not at all. I hate it. I just want a beer. Uh-oh. Looks like it's pitching a right old hissy fit.
Max ammo.
Now the death is like a drop. That's the rule, yeah?
Then it worked. Don't forget to grab the entrance. Come on, quickly. They are breaking down my cell door. Hurry!
Craft, we need to know, what do we do with the amulet?
Take it to the excavation site. But beware the Sentinel artifact. It could consume you.
And Richtofen, where is he? We know he contacted you.
Please. Please don't kill him. He is my son.
He's your what?
I don't think he knew he was raising a monster. Until it was too late.
And the dig site he mentioned. It is not far.
And this is it for today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. I hope you have enjoyed the guided tutorial, and I do hope you also have enjoyed using those Easter eggs in your advantage and making the most of your solo experience. I have to say it has been a difficult map to play solo, so I do hope these tips and tricks I shared with you today will make your experience better. And by doing so, I also would like to ask you to leave a comment, a like, and also to subscribe if you haven't done already, because I think it's just gonna help me also create more content like this. Also, if you do have other suggestions on what to do moving forward, I would love to hear from you. And as always, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video, and I'm absolutely excited about DLC number 2, because so far this game has been absolutely amazing, and Black Ops 6 Zombies have broken probably everyone's expectations in terms of the content that they've dropped. So thanks so much again for watching, guys. See you again soon, and have a good one.